sun is shining, doctor getting nausea and endless migraine. Sun is shining, the sun is shining. I'm taking me tablets, but can't get relief. More they drain me pocket.
Comrades and friends, good night. Let me hear you for Gaston Browne. Tonight is the defining moment for City West. Who you want in City West? We are going to bring this home for the Antigua Labour Party. The UPP say they're going to make this their battleground, but let us tell them they have lost the battle. Gaston Browne is a man of steel, a man of competence. I worked with that man for 5 years, and within that 5 years, Gaston Browne have shown how a ministry should function. If this government adopted some of the policies that Gaston Browne adopted in the Ministry of Planning, they would not be in the crisis they're in now. When Gaston Browne was head of the Ministry of Planning, we used to engage discussions with the private sector as to how the economy of Antigua and Barbuda is going. Based on the advice, we passed on advice to the cabinet of Antigua and Barbuda. Based on those advice, we were able to put strategic interventions in place to keep our economy on track. What is happening today, comrades and friends? We have a government in crisis. A government that listens to no one. A government that has decimated the private sector. They have sat there and they have feathered their own nest and on the backs of the people of Antigua and Barbuda and at the expense of the private sector. As soon as they got into office, the first thing they could do after they promised the people of Antigua and Barbuda that they will not do it is to raise taxes. Within 1 short year, they have placed taxes on the back of Antigua and Barbuda and the private sector to a level where they crippled business. The ABST and the income tax, those were defining moments for this economy. They were warned. We in opposition, we warned them. We told them they could not take so much money out of the people's pocket and the business sector's pocket because we have a small core group of business sectors in this country, a small population, and you have to leave money in their pocket so that they can breathe. They took it all away. They said they need money to run government. They want to make government small, but they made the treasury empty. What they did, they collected more than $400 million over and above what the Antigua Labour Party was collecting. Let us reflect a bit, comrades and friends, and the people of City West. With all this money, one would have thought that this government would have stabilized the economy of Antigua and Barbuda. With the retrenchment of public servants, one would have thought that they would be leading a mean, lean and efficient public service. They did not do that. What they did, comrades and friends, they take your money, they take the money out of the private sector and they squandered it all away. They said they put it in infrastructure. But look around your communities and tell me if you are happy with the infrastructure and the services you are getting now. They did nothing with our money. But the chicken is coming home to roost. The chicken is coming home to roost. They have a crisis on their hand that they cannot manage. Within the 2 short months, November and December, And if we want to add January, let us add it. People in Antigua and Barbuda have lost over 3,000 jobs. For a small population and a small economy like ours, we cannot bear that. We cannot bear that. What we're seeing, if we have a labor force of 40,000 people, we are seeing a situation of more than 8% of our labor force gone back home in 3 months. Let us add the unemployment before that to this 8%. And we are facing an unemployment situation in Antigua and Barbuda of close to 15%. This is not something to take frivolous. What are the issues of unemployment? Ask yourself. You have to feed your family. You have to send your kids to school. When you don't have it, how are you going to survive? That is why the Antigua Labour Party is telling you that this election is about issues. We're not concerned about right check and wrong check and train and everything like that. What we are concerned about are the failed policies of the UPP administration. That's what we are concerned about. These vagabonds called the UPP administration, they are governing this country under a cloud of deception. They come to you and tell you everything is all right. When we saw the economic crisis staring in our face from the United States and Europe, the Minister of Finance said, that will not affect Antigua and Barbuda. That will not affect Antigua and Barbuda. We told them, come together with the private sector and the opposition and let us put something in place so that we will not feel the hard squeeze in Antigua.
Wouldn't listen.
They tell us that is not necessary. You were there before and we are here now. But in a country where we believe in ourselves as a people, you cannot afford to deal with before or now. We have to deal with this thing as if all we are one.
Yes.
And that is what the Antigua Labour Party have to you today. We are presenting on the table a situation where we will bring national unity to this country. We want to make sure that the crisis that we are facing will be solved. The UPP have no answer to solve the crisis that we're in. And let me tell you why. Any country with the population as ours must have foreign investment to survive.
Of course.
We must attract foreign investment to couple with the local investors that we have. The vindictive UPP government, they got into power. The bottom highest peacocks decided we don't need no one. We can manage. We have an investor by the name of Alan Stanford.
Yes.
One of the best investors that ever graced this Caribbean.
You want you.
Alan Stanford did them nothing. Alan Stanford gave them everything. And like gangsters, they boot Alan Stanford out.
Can you imagine?
They are an arrogant set of people.
Idiots.
Now what is happening, comrades and friends? And I want to say brothers and sisters, because we're reaching across the aisle for you too.
Yes.
Let me tell you, we cannot survive with serious investors in this country. We went to school. We are required to sit down and negotiate with investors, put the cards on the table, and get something for us while we give something.